Hello everyone, thank you very much for signing in and watching my live stream. I'm Mr. Matt and this is Dr. Tot. Dr. Tot, you want a cookie for class? Very good, and welcome to PreAlgebra. This week we're going to continue reviewing Semester A material for your upcoming exam. Remember that these live streams as well as the Practice 1 exam is to be used for diagnostic, as diagnostic tools rather, for you to identify areas in which you may need to improve upon. After this, if you find any questions that give you some trouble or you're a little bit confused and want some extra help, remember that I'll be posting soon the independent practice set and the quick drill set A and B. The independent practice set is going to contain a large number of problems for you to practice with, varying in difficulty level. The quick drill sets are going to be shorter activities, but at advanced levels for this course, and also focusing in on word problems and real-world scenarios. So watch out for those materials. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to post a comment below or get in contact with me on my social media accounts. Those are listed in the description. And let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go through another cluster of topics today. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. And as always, these are live sessions, so there's a little bit of a delay with the iPad, but I'll take care of that as much as I can. This document is going to be posted on Certified Learning Center's website. The link will be in the description. Just make sure that you're looking at the document that has the resource, or reference number rather, of 1849-8. That way you know that you're on the right document. And I'm circling it right here for you. Okay, let's go ahead and look at a few problems. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I'll keep track of the time in the upper left-hand corner and I'll update it per minute. After 1 minute, I'll start to solve to give you some hints. And I'd like you to identify the coordinates of the following points listed in this scatter plot. So I'll give you 3 minutes, and after 1 minute, I'll start to solve. Okay, so going through these points here, remember that the reason or the whole point around about the the Cartesian plot or the x and the y axis is to describe the location of a point relative to the origin of the graph. The origin is at 0, 0. It's where the two axes intersect. So we have to look at the two axes scale. In other words, by what number is each dash counting. So on the x-axis, notice that they're counting by 2's. On the y-axis, they're counting by 1's. So you have to be careful about that. They can be a little bit tricky. And the coordinate system is, or the coordinate points that we're going to use to describe the position of each point is going to be a parentheses, x-coordinate, comma, y-coordinate, and parentheses. So starting with the leftmost point, we have a distance of -8 from the origin, and we're down 2 from the origin. So we have to go left from the origin 8, down 2. So that's going to represent a coordinate point of -8, comma, -2. Moving right, then we're going to have -4, comma, 1, because from the origin we go left 4, up 1. That third point from the left is going to be -2, comma, 4, because we're going to go left 2, up 4. Going past into the positive range of the x's, the next point to the right is going to be 1, comma, 1. Notice that 1, comma, 1 looks different from the x margin to the y margins, or from the x scale to the y scale, because on the x they're counting by 2's. So you have to recognize that the x coordinate of 1 is going to be halfway in between one of the dashes. Then we have 3, comma, -3, because relative to the origin we're going right 3, down 3. Then we have 5, comma, 5 in the upper right hand corner. We're going to go right 5, up 5 to get to that point from the origin. And then lastly we have 6, comma, 2, because from the origin we'd have to move right 6, up 2. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at question number 2. Question number 2 is asking us to determine whether the scatter plot data below represents a positive, negative, or no correlation. So remember that correlation means a general trend. For moving left to right, if you're going up, that's a positive trend. Moving left to right, if you're going down, that's a negative trend. And then if there's not really any relationship to be determined between the points, then you would say that there's no correlation. So I'll give you 3 minutes. 1 minute in, I'll start to solve. Okay, so looking at these three graphs, we can notice that for A, as x increases, y is increasing. As we go right along the x-axis, we're going up along the y-axis. So that represents a positive overall trend, which represents a positive correlation. For B, as x increases, as x goes to the right, y decreases, y goes down. So B represents a negative trend and a negative correlation. For C, there's no obvious relationship between the points, which is why you can't draw an overall trend line, so that's no correlation. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Otherwise, let's go ahead and look at questions 3 and 4, which are going to be asking about ordering sets in increasing and decreasing order. Remember that increasing and decreasing order is relative on a number line with respect to 0. So what I would recommend is sometimes the negative values can be a little bit tricky because negative numbers are counterintuitive. The more negative something is, the less its value. So for example, negative 100 is a smaller number than negative 1. Negative 1 is a larger number than negative 100 because it's closer to 0 on a number line. So if you get stuck, think about where these values would lie on a number line, and that will give you an indication in to their ordination. So I'm going to give you, this one I'm going to give you a little bit more time. I'll give you 4 minutes. After 1 minute, I'll start to solve. Okay, so let's look at these. Sorry, I was just filling in the last ones there. Okay, just want to make sure I had enough numbers. So if we are looking at ordering values in increasing order is from least to greatest. So we're going from the most negative to the greatest positive. So for number 3, we're going to start off with negative 21, negative 22, then negative 21, negative 19, 4, 11, 19, 23, and 25. For 3b, ordering these from least to greatest, or increasing order, would be negative 29, negative 28, negative 23, negative 13, 3, 15, 22, and 26. For 4, we're ordering the number sets in decreasing order. That's going to be from greatest to least, or from the greatest positive value to the smallest negative value. So for 4a, we're going to have 28, 19, 16, 12, 5, negative 20, negative 21, and then negative 25. For set 4b, we're going to have 30, 24, 14, 6, negative 2, negative 4, negative 5, negative 9, and negative 11. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at question number 5. So now we're going to start over with some more examples. I'd like you to take a look at this graph, and you have to be careful about the units on the x-axis because they're counting by 5s here. But I'd like you to identify the coordinates of the following points listed in this scatter plot. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes. After 1 minute, I'll start to solve. Okay, so the x scale, or the scale on the x-axis here is a little bit strange because they're counting by such a large unit of fives. So if you tried to go ahead and demarcate some of the 4 more additional marks to mark off individual marginal units along the x-axis, with odd numbers, of divisions, it's a little bit trickier than if you have even numbers. With even divisions, you can kind of just divide in half and then keep on dividing the space in half as many times as you need until you get the number of divisions that you want. With an odd set like 5, you kind of have to start in the middle and go a little bit either way around, or a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right of the midpoint. So that's what I did there, and then I divided that portion, both of the portions to the left and to the right of that segment, in half. And that's how you can get 5 dash marks in between 0 and -5, -5 and -10, 0 and +5, and +5 and +10. That just makes the graph a little bit easier to read with those dash marks there. So we have coordinate points starting with the point all the way to the left, -7, -8 relative to the origin. Moving right, then we have -6, 5, -2, -4, 0, 8. Notice that's on the y-axis, so it has an x-coordinate of 0. Moving right from the y-axis, then we have 3, -5, 5, -3, and then finally 8, 2. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at question number 6. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Please determine whether the following scatter plot data represent positive, negative, or no correlation. So for number 6, as for 6a, as x increases, y is generally decreasing. We see that general downward trend. Let me draw in a straight line there. So we have this general downward trend. So that represents a negative correlation. For b, there isn't really a relationship that we can see between x and y, so that represents no correlation. And for c, we can notice that general upward trend as x increases, y increases, so that represents a positive correlation between x and y. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at 7 and 8. So for 7, I'd like you to order these number sets from least to greatest. For 8, I'd like you to order the number sets from greatest to least. I'll give you 4 minutes. After 1 minute, I'll start to solve. Okay, so looking at 7 and 8, ordering from least to greatest for 7a, we're going to have negative 23, negative 18, negative 12, negative 7, positive 1, positive 18, positive 21, and positive 27. For 7b, we're also listing least to greatest. So starting with the most negative, we're going to have negative 23, negative 18, negative 11, negative 5, positive 23, positive 24, positive 26, and then positive 28. For 8, we're listing from greatest to least. So we're going to go from the greatest positive number to the smallest negative number. For 8a, we're going to have 27, 26, 24, 3, negative 8, negative 9, negative 13, and negative 18. And then for 8b, we're going to have 24, 21, 1, negative 6, negative 12, negative 18, negative 19, and negative 28. Remember that greatest to least is the greatest positive to the smallest negative. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at question number 9. I'll give you 3 minutes. Please identify the coordinates of the following points. After 1 minute, I'll start to solve. Okay, so starting with the leftmost point, we're going to have -6 comma -4, then -5 comma +9 all the way up the upper left-hand side. Then we have 2 points on the x-coordinate of -4. We have -4 comma 5 in the second quadrant, and we have -4 comma -7 in the third quadrant. Moving across to the right of the y-axis, we're going to have 1 comma 1. Notice how that point is in the middle of the entire grid square. That's because on the y-axis we're counting by 2's, and on the x-axis we're counting by 2's. So it's not going to show up on an exact grid line because the margins of measure are skipping over the odd numbers. Next, then we'd have 4 comma -6 in the fourth quadrant, followed up by 5 comma 8 and 6 comma 3 in the first quadrant in the upper right hand side. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at question number 10. So please determine whether the following scatter plot data represent positive, negative, or no correlation. I'll give you 3 minutes, and after 1 minute, I'll start to solve. So for question 10a, we can notice as x increases, y decreases. Overall, that represents a negative trend and a negative correlation between x and y. For 10b, as x increases, meaning going to the right, y increases. So this represents a positive correlation and overall positive trend. For 10c, there's really no strict relationship between x and y, as we can see, because we can't really generally draw any type of trend line here, neither upwards nor downwards, so this represents no correlation. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's look at the last pair of questions for today. Questions 11 and 12 ask you to order the following number sets in ascending and descending order. So ascending means going up, least to greatest. Descending means going down, greatest to least. Okay, so I'll give you 4 minutes. After 1 minute, I'll start to solve, and this will bring us up to the end of class today. Okay, so for numbers 11 and 12, 11a, going in ascending order from least to greatest, we're going to have negative 22, negative 19, negative 15, negative 14, 4, 15, 17, and 25. For 11b, in least to greatest, we're going to have negative 23, negative 15, negative 14, negative 10, then positive 12, 19, 21, and 28. For 12, 12a, going in descending order, that's greatest to least. Oh, I'm so sorry, and I messed up 12b then because I did it in the wrong order. But 12a, going greatest to least, we're going to have 26, 22, 14, 6, 1, negative 1, negative 4, negative 15, and negative 18. And therefore, let me correct 12b. 12b should be 27, not 17, 27, 25, 22, 13, 11, negative 13, negative 20, negative 28. My apologies. We need to be going in descending order, not ascending order. So let me just replace that there. There we go. So you might be, your teacher can present these ordered sets in many different options. So they can use words to describe them in least to greatest, in ascending versus descending, increasing versus decreasing. So you need to make sure that you're comfortable with all of those vocab terms. As always, if you have any questions on anything that we've done today, then please let me know in the comment section, or you can get in contact with me on social media at any of my accounts listed in the description. If anything in today's lesson was confusing to you or you want more help, remember that there will be an independent practice problem set that will be posted soon with the solution. That'll be in the description to this video, as well as quick drill sets A and B. So turn to those resources to reinforce your skills. And then ultimately, when you're preparing for the Semester A exam right before the exam, you can use practice tests 2 and 3 to fine-tune your skills right before the exam. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. As always, thank you very much. If you find these videos helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. But otherwise, Dr. Tots, you want to say goodbye? Can you sit? You earned a cookie. Can you say bye? Okay, very good. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.